everybody. Eric Brown, MOBO-Media, MOBO-Media. Hey, I just want to talk about, some of my own experiences with police officers being stopped for no reason, and just the experiences of, knowing that you've done nothing wrong, but you still have to go through the whole process of having them question you for no reason, this sort of thing. And so, um, man, I've been pulled over so many times and pulled out of cars, especially when I was younger. I remember one time a cop pulled me over, man, and he said I was speeding. I was in the car with my sister, right? So the dude gets out. Well, he makes me get out of the car. The guy just started questioning me, man, about, what do you have in the car? You got guns, drugs, all this. And there wasn't none of that going on, you know what I'm saying? Just me and my sister trying to get home. Well, long story short, the guy kept me out the salon, man. My sister started crying because he was just really, man, digging at me that hard. Like he really wanted to take me to jail for something. The crazy thing is with this cop, man, is he ended up letting me go because he didn't believe my name was Eric Brown. And it was the craziest thing. And I'm sitting there, he said, "What is your name?" I'm like, "I'm Eric Brown." He's telling me, "I know this is not your name, And little did he know he was wrong. And if he had pulled up my name, I probably would have came up for tickets for having no driver's license from before, what have you. But it was just the craziest thing, man. I remember one time a partner of mine was driving, me and a partner were driving, and he smoked weed, you know what I'm saying? So he went to get him some weed and I rode with him. We went to the weed house, Miller Apartments in Fort Worth, man, years ago. Miller Apartments in Fort Worth, Texas. We went to get some weed. I'll never forget, the guys at the weed house said they were dry, meaning they didn't have anything. It was all dried up, which let me know something else was going on because that area was known for, always coming through when people needed it, things like that. But when he said it was dry, to me, he was saying something else. Long story short, we pulled off away from there and we got about 2 or 3 blocks away. And man, I'll never forget, it was like undercover cop cars coming out of nowhere, pulling us over, right? So they pulled us over to make me and him get out of the car, asked me who I am, ran my name, asked him who he was. And by this time they had pulled me away from him, I guess, so we don't try to come up with the same story or whatever. So they made me sit on the side of the road on like a little dirt hill, which is cool, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there watching things play out, and my homeboy, man, all of a sudden he gets into an argument with the laws, man. He gets into an argument. And I think what happened was he owed tickets. He had a warrant for tickets. And they basically was telling him he was going to jail. He was trying to, argue with him about it and fight it, man. And they telling him to put his hand behind his back and he wanted to fight him, man. I'm telling you, about 4 or 5 laws had him on top of his car. When I say on top of his car, I'm not talking about just hands on top. They had him on top of his car. But the crazy thing about that, he ended up going to jail, man. I think he spent a couple of weeks in jail. The crazy thing about this situation is when everything was said and done, they got my homeboy, took him off. The cops came over and talked to me and said, "Well, we can't let you drive his car. You don't have a license, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Oh, it's cool," you know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is the laws gave me a ride home. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? But they gave me a ride to the crib, man. I'll never forget. It was just the craziest thing, man. Because when he was scuffling with the cops, I was telling him, "Hey, man, yo, chill out, man. Yo, chill, man. It ain't all that, man. What's wrong with you, man? Chill out." But yeah, he ended up paying for it. 3 or 4 weeks in jail, and I got a free ride home by the police officers. A good ending to that story for me, but there have been other times where cops just will pull you over for the stupidest thing. Even here where I live in Austin, I was pulled over probably a year ago. I drive a car, one of my cars, a Mercedes, and you got brake lights. You got 2 brake lights in the back, and then you have the little brake light wand at the top of the back window. Well, I saw a law, I passed a law, you know what I'm saying, with traffic and everything, but some told me this law was going to make her way and pull me over. And at the time, I didn't know why she was pulling me over, but when she pulled me over, she said because the top brake light was out, which is BS, because some cars are not made with a top brake light. If you get the older model cars, there are no top brake lights. So she gave me a warning, woo, woo, woo. I was asking all these crazy questions trying to get me to respond negatively, but I didn't. But I ended up taking it to the car to the shop.